Okay, so सबको आवाज आ रही है?
Yes, sir.
Anshita, can you hear me? Nice. So the topic that we're gonna start for today is absolute values, modulus. How many of you have studied modulus or absolute values before as well?
तो थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ा हुआ
Same.
Same. थोड़ा बहुत पढ़ा हुआ है. Okay, fine. So let's just try to understand basically what is the concept behind the absolute values of the moduluses. Now, absolute values number one. If I'm gonna ask you ke on a number line, I'm gonna say this is 0, this is 1, this is 2, 3, 4, this is -1, -2, -3, and -4, right? If I ask you what is the distance between 0 and 4, can you tell me what is the distance between 0 and 4?
4 units.
Exactly. So your answer would be simply 4 units. Nice. And if I ask you what is the difference between 0 and -4, then your answer would be,
4 units.
again, same. It's going to be a 4 units. So basically the function of the modulus is to represent the distance of the number within the modulus with respect to 0. If I ask you what is modulus -13, so this is saying here what is the distance between -13 and 3. So the answer would be simply 13. The number is like modulus 7. That means what is the distance between 7 till 0? And your final answer would be a simple 7. In simple words, you can always say the answer of the modulus will be a positive number. Modulus can never give you a negative answer as the distance of any specific number to the till 0 can never be a negative value, right? So whatever is inside the modulus could be, your answer will always be a positive value. For example, if I ask you what is modulus 4, so your answer would be simply a positive 4. If I ask you what is modulus -4, still the answer is a positive 4. Alright? Does it make
Yes.
sense to all of
Yeah.
you? Okay, nice. But in case if I say, okay, what is modulus x? So now, what should be your answer?
It's going to
Like,
be.
modulus x is equal to, let's say, 9. So what is the
X.
possible value of x?
If it's positive only.
X is positive?
Only if it's positive, then it's going to be just X.
X will
Yeah,
have two
it is
values, negative and positive.
exactly. X would have two values as, I don't know whether it was -9. If the answer, like, if the value of x is -9, the answer would have been a positive 9. And otherwise, if the value of x is positive 9, still the answer would have been 9. So I don't know what is the value of x. So in simple words, it is said whenever you are finding out the value of a modulus, just remove the lines of the modulus and place plus minus sign on the right hand side. So x will be either positive or negative 9. Now it is, for example, 2x plus 4 is equivalent to, let's suppose, 16. Now 2x plus 4 is equivalent to plus minus 16.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't know whether it is plus 16 or negative 16. What I have to do is I have to solve this equation for two different values. Number one is 2x plus 4 is equivalent to 16. And the second is 2x plus 4 is equivalent to minus 16. Now, if it is positive 16, shifting 4 on the right hand side gives you a 12, and x is equals to 6. And again, shifting this 4 to the right hand side is minus 20. So now x is equals to a minus 10. So these are the two possible values of x. The x could be either a negative 10 or it could be a positive 6. Remember one thing, the values inside the modulus could be a negative as well as positive. But on the outside of the modulus, the answer should always be a negative value or should always be a positive value. For example, if it says 2x plus, let's suppose 2x plus 6 is equivalent to minus 20. Now, what is the value of x? So, how are you going to solve this example number 7?
No solution.
Yeah, exactly. So, you don't need to even solve this type of a question because you know that the modulus can never be a negative value. So, if there is only modulus on the left hand side of the equation and on the right hand side there's negative value, so you will simply say no solution. All right, that's it. But now if it is minus 2 modulus 2x minus it is equal to minus 20. So what should be my answer? Should I say no solution or can I solve this question?
We can solve it.
Yes.
Yes, we can solve it as there is negative 2. So सबसे पहले you need to shift this negative on the right hand side and then this negative 20 and negative 2 gets cancelled out and you will end up with a positive 10. So modulus 2x minus 8 is equivalent to 10. Alright. Now, once you figured out that it is equal to a positive value, so you will simply write as 2x minus 8 is equal to plus minus 10. And then 2x minus 8 is equivalent to 10. And this is 2x minus 8 is equivalent to minus 10. So this is 2x is equivalent to 18 and x is equal to 9. Over here, this is equivalent to shifting it minus 8 on the right hand side. That is going to be equivalent to minus 2 and x is equal to minus 1. All right. So you need to make sure that on the left hand side, there has to be only a modulus and all the other variables, all the other numbers should be on the right hand side. If on the right hand side there is a negative value and on the left hand side there is only modulus, we will say no solution. But if you can simplify this expression and figure out if the answer is equivalent to a positive number, then you can always solve the values for modulus. And you need to again write it as plus minus 10 and then first solve it for plus 10, then with minus 10 and figure out your answers. Now let's move forward. Condition number 9. For example, if it is 4x plus 2 is equivalent to 2x minus 24, right? Now there's modulus on both the side of the equation. So what I'm going to do is, there are two ways of doing it. In our schools in A levels, they taught us what you should do is square both sides of the equation and then apply the formula which is a square plus 2ab plus b square and then factorize it for the values of x. But instead, you don't need to do this entire working. You just need to place plus minus on the right hand side of the equation. and then write it down as 4x plus 2 is equivalent to 2x minus 24 or 4x plus 2 is equivalent to minus 2x plus 24. Now, यहाँ पे लेके आओ 2x is equivalent to उसको वहाँ भेजा minus 26 x is equals to minus 13. यहाँ पे लेके आओ 6x इसको वहाँ ले जाओ so that's going to be a 22 and x is equals to which is 11 over 3. So these are the two values of x and that's it. We will simplify it for both the equation and whatever is your answer, we will simply write it down. That was example number 9, right? Now let's talk about an example number 10. What is example number 10? Now, for example, if it is 2x plus 1, it is x minus 2. Now, the difference in this case and the case we have done previously is that there is variable on both sides of the expression, the both side of the equation, but on the left hand side there is modulus, but on the right hand side there is no modulus. So what should you do is you will write it as 2x plus 1 is equivalent to plus minus x minus 2. So once you're going to simply solve it as 2x plus 1 is equivalent to x minus 2. And for the other case, now shift this x on this left hand side and minus 1 on the right hand side would turn out to be minus 3. And over here is going to be equivalent to x equivalent to a positive 1. All right.
सर वो क्या कहते हैं x
Yeah,
माइनस 2 पे प्लस माइनस क्यों लगाया आपने वहां पे तो कुछ मतलब एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यू था ही नहीं
वहां पे क्या नहीं था?
एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यू नहीं था ना तो फिर वहां पे
हाँ
प्लस माइनस कैसे आ गया
उससे पहले जब यहाँ पे 16 था तो यहाँ पे एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यू थोड़ी था, लेकिन तब भी आपने प्लस माइनस लगाया था ना. तो रिगार्डलेस ऑफ एनी कंडीशन के अगर आप मॉडुलस हटा रहे हो ना तो आपने राइट हैंड साइड पे प्लस माइनस लगाना है, चाहे नंबर हो, वेरिएबल हो, कुछ भी हो.
जी
ठीक है. So in the first case it was x minus 3. In the second case this is going to be a plus 3. वहां चला जाएगा minus 1. X is equals to 1 over 3 हो जाएगा. Now
सही
these are the two values of x. Up. The concern is, now this is not the final answer. Whenever there is a condition when there is modulus on the left hand side and there is no modulus on the right hand side, and still there is an equation. So what you need to do is you need to verify this expression. I need to verify both the values of x. Over here, x is equal to minus c, right? And over here it is x is equals to
1/3
1 over 3, right? So what you need to do is you will simply plug in this value on the right hand side of the equation and verify whether your answer is coming out to be a positive number or a negative value. So over here, if I just place x is equal to minus 3 and this is minus 2, so your final answer is minus 5. Now, the final answer is minus 5. You can never have a modulus which is going to give you a negative answer. So this is not a valid solution. I'm not going to consider this as my solution. Now, for the second value, again, I'm going to plug in this value and write it as 1 upon 3 minus 2 taking the LCM, and the LCM is going to be simply 3. This will be 3. This is 1 minus 2. The final answer turns out to be negative 1 over 3, right? Again, negative 1 over 3 is still not the solution. So this is also not considered to be my answer. So if both the values get cancelled out, I'm going to simply say no solution. Now, this question does not have any solution. On the vice versa case, if there would have been a positive answer for x is equal to minus 3 or x is equal to 1 over 3, whichever is going to give me the positive answer, that will only be considered as my solution. As in this case, both of them is giving me the negative answer, so there is no solution of this question. समझ आया क्या कहा मैंने?
Yes, sir.
तो तुम्हें वेरीफाई करना पड़ेगा. अगर पॉजिटिव आंसर आ रहा होता तो ठीक है, अगर नहीं आ रहा पॉजिटिव, दोनों से नेगेटिव आ रहा है, तो दोनों ही आंसर नहीं होंगे. अगर जिससे ही पॉजिटिव आता वो मेरा आंसर हो जाता.
Yeah, sir.
इन
नाइस.
सवालों में क्या वो
क्या क्या क्या?
इन सवालों में क्या सिंपली डेसिमल्स इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं या नहीं?
आई थिंक डेसिमल्स में मॉडुलस का फंक्शन है.
है.
हाँ, तो कर सकते हो. अगर
ओके.
मॉडुलस का फंक्शन है और तुम डायरेक्टली इक्वेशन बनाई कर सकते हो तो बिल्कुल कर लो. और अगर हम वैसे ही मैन्युअली भी कर लोगे तो भी इतना टाइम नहीं लगेगा.
सही.
सेट में टाइम मैनेजमेंट का इशू कभी भी नहीं होता. टाइम होता है आपके पास करने के लिए.
हम्म.
अच्छा. Now, for example, if there is a modulus which says x minus 4 and the answer is greater than equal to 0. So, what are the possible values for x? x की ऐसी क्या possible values हो जिससे x minus 4 modulus greater than equal to 0? तुम्हारा आंसर क्या होगा?
तो सारी वैल्यूज हैं.
Exactly. You simply say here all values of x. तो जनरल फॉर्म अगर x minus अगर ax minus b है and this is greater than equal to 0, the answer will be all values of x. Now, the second condition, if the question would have been x minus 4, the modulus is greater than 0. So, what are the possible values for x? हसन, यहाँ तुम्हें क्या लगता है क्या होना चाहिए?
सर मिनिमम 3 होगी.
मिनिमम वो 4 से ऊपर होनी चाहिए.
मिनिमम 4 से ऊपर होनी चाहिए. एग्जैक्टली मैं 1 मिनट देना, मुझे ट्रांजैक्शन करनी है. So now, so thing is, we will simply say here all values of x except x is equal to 4. So here, so in general form, if it is ax minus b to the 4 square is greater than 0, we simply say here all values of x except x is equals to b upon a. Okay. Now, for example, if it is modulus x minus 4 is less than 0. So what should be your answer?
No values.
क्या होगा आंसर?
No values of x.
Yeah, exactly. No value of x. Because there is no value of x that is going to give me an answer which is negative, yeah, which is less than 0. So भाई अगर ax minus b less than 0 हो, so you will simply say no value of x. Now, for the fourth condition, x minus 4 to the whole square is less than equal to 0. अब no value of x except x is equal to 4. ठीक है जी? So that is your answer.
Yeah, sir.
Yes.
Okay, fine. So after this, let's try to solve the questions of this chapter. थोड़ा जल्दी से कर लेते हैं. अच्छा मुझे बताओ कल आप तीनों अवेलेबल हो रात में?
सर कल इंग्लिश की क्लास है.
कितने बजे है?
6 PM. सॉरी पाकिस्तान के 8.
8. सो क्या 10 PM पे क्लास ले सकते हो?
ठीक है सर.
सो ना मैंने आपको तकरीबन सबको ही जो है टॉपिक शेयर कर दिया. एब्सोल्यूट वैल्यूज and so on. Okay, fine. So start solving the question. बस just do not solve question number 9 and 10. वो मैं डिस्कस करूंगा फिर सॉल्व करेंगे. Otherwise, you can solve all the remaining questions. अच्छा, जैसे आप लोगों का कंप्लीट हो जाए, just do text me on WhatsApp that I'm done.